with Chris Wilder, they're taking a punt on the guy. But if they want to stay in the league, we all know what they need to do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wilder's to the curb, and then it's Pulis or Allardyce. No
Yeah.
fuss, no bother, no
Trust me.
complaints.
Get Big Sam in. He'll put 6 at the back and play long ball football, and that's all you need.
And it's done. It's a done deal. Okay. You want a Premier League football, you're getting it. All right. You're not going to be beating the Man Cities and the Liverpools, but you're going to be there. Yeah. You'll be pretty strong at home. People won't want to play you when they come to Bramall Lane. They're not going to want it. They know they're going to get kicked pillar to post, and you pick up all your points at home. Yeah. Just live with it. All right. Because you're not getting the title winning manager, you're not getting the Champions League place winning manager, and if you're lucky, after 3 or 4 seasons, you might get the kind of manager who will keep you in the league comfortably. Yeah,
Mhm.
but one step at a time. Okay, one
Definitely,
step at
man.
a time.
Know your level. Know your level.
Yes, know your level.
Yeah.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to FPL Bros. We're up to episode 38. And yeah, this is just a bite-sized episode this week because, it's running up to Christmas and life is just mad hectic. And so it's just your boy Coach, aka the Black David Mitchell, and Jamie.
I've never heard the AKA before. I like it.
Yeah,
And it's the JV. I haven't got any
right.
AKAs yet.
Okay then. So yeah, I suppose we start with a pretty sort of underwhelming game week 11. At least it was for me. Yeah, so I managed 67 points, which was only 5 above the average. So I got a red arrow mostly, and now I'm sitting at my overall rank is about 360k. And yeah, I think where I went wrong. I mean, I had Kevin De Bruyne, who I captained, and I had Salah, and I had Bamford and Calvert-Lewin. But I think where I went wrong is that I brought in Jesus because I thought, well, he's the only striker at Man City, and if Man City are going to go nuts, he's bound to go nuts along with them. So it was a bit of a gamble, which didn't really pay off last week, but I'm hoping it's going to pay off in the next couple of weeks. So that's me. And how do you do?
Well, similarly to you, I got 58. So yeah, not great at all. I got below the average points this week, which is quite sad. I think this might be one of my first weeks where I was below the average, to be honest. I've
Yeah.
been coasting just above, and now I'm under. So I'm seeing red arrows this week all over. What can I say? Zuma did well for me. Salah did well for me, and Calvert-Lewin did well, of course. And then I had Robertson and Fernandez. I took a hit with Martinez. I kept him in goal, even though we knew that he wasn't going to be playing this week. There was
Same
not much
here,
I could do.
Yeah.
There was not much I can do. I brought in what's his name? I brought in Bednarek from Southampton. 'Cause I thought, oh, maybe they'll bring a clean sheet. I brought him in exchange for I can't remember who. I think I had. Oh, right. So my swaps were I had Nico Williams and I changed him out for Bednarek, and I had already 3 Liverpool players. So I had to swap around another one because I wanted to bring Jota in. So Nico Williams dropped out for bring Jota in, and then Bednarek to cover Nico Williams in that place. It was a bit of a swapsy, but I did it to try and get Jota in, and all of that work for him to get me 1 point. So, it was a bit of a smack in the face.
I
But
think
hey,
it was. Look, nobody expected that. He's been on a mad run, and
yeah,
for him to get rested on. I suppose Klopp probably thought Wolves would be a difficult game.
yeah,
Even then, he's an established player. He's an established Premier League player. But yeah,
exactly.
anyway, we will lick our wounds and go onwards and upwards now.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
So I think the first thing to tackle really is that they've announced that West Ham's game against West Brom will be moved from game week 18 and will be played in game week 19. For those of you who prefer dates, so the game is going to be moved away from the fixtures on Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday 12th January and Wednesday 30th of January. and it will be moved to the fixtures starting 16th of January. And I think this is to do with the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So people are getting excited about what they're going to do, stocking up on West Ham players. I don't think anyone's going to stock up on West Brom players somehow. But that's the excitement. That's the buzz, I should say. I mean, the news was announced fairly recently. I don't suppose you've given it any thoughts. Do you see yourself bringing in West Ham players? Because as you may be aware, a double game week just means that they play twice in a game week, which means potentially every West Ham player you have will play twice and potentially get double scores. Well, the other person you get single scores. Yeah, so I
got you. I don't know. Like, unless, like, for me, I don't like. Maybe it's just me. Like, maybe I might use a free hit. I might consider a free hit if I'm going to do something like that. But if I haven't got a West Ham player originally, I'm not going to bring them in just for that. Like, I don't know, unless like around that time someone in West Ham is on crazy form and it's just like, all right, he's definitely going to be playing both games, because sometimes managers also like to do a bit of rotation when they've got two games. They might rotate out for the West Brom game, and then what?
Exactly.
I've swapped out a surefire points for someone who I thought might play twice and maybe just get, and he might not even play. You literally just don't know. It's a tough one.
People forget that all the time, especially with all the managers who've been moaning about the fixture pile-up. You've got to be careful with these double game weeks, because a lot of the time the players don't actually play twice. I mean, generally speaking, defenders and goalkeepers will play twice, right? But yeah, with the rest of them, you just don't know. And especially if the games are going to be like 2 days apart. You might even they might just rotate that whole mess. So I think, it's a watch and wait and see sort of thing.
But like I said, I think I'll be saving my free hit, because, and also if I'm considering it, that's just the first double game week to be announced, because some of the other bigger teams have still got games in hand as well.
Exactly.
So like maybe even I might not even use my free hit. I might just coast and just let everybody else do what they're doing and just see what happens, or hold out for like the Man City game in hand. I think they've got one, and United also have one, right?
United, Man City, and Aston Villa, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and Burnley, which probably people are not going to be too worried about.
So that's something to consider. Those are the bigger guys that you might want to look out for. The likes of Fernandes, but then also with bigger teams, bigger squads, bigger rotation. It's just there's so many angles to look at it.
True. One thing I would say though, I mean, obviously the amount of days they have in between the games is a big factor. But what you've got to remember is that sometimes some teams just can't do without their big hitters. And even if they get rested for a game, sometimes they come on for like maybe the last half, the second half, or even like the last half an hour, and they can still do damage. I'll never forget the time Salah came on, I think it was a couple of seasons ago. Salah didn't start a game, and he came on maybe the 50th and 60th minute, and he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
That's like mad points. I know. So it's always something to look out with. And let's face it, it seems to me that with Manchester United, they can try and do without their big players, but it's just painful, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, no, it is.
As I said, look, I promise you a whole match rest, but it's only going to be half a match. Yeah, get your shin pads on, right? We need that penalty. Just get on there. Stop complaining, So, yeah, very good points. Very good points.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Also, very briefly, what I briefly mentioned in the chat was that it looks like coming back again to the topic of big teams and big hitters, it looks like most of the big teams, big hitters are firing. Over the weekend, we saw Son and Kane get points. We saw Fernandes get points. We got Salah get points, and we saw KDB get points. So when we're looking at Liverpool, Man United, Man City, and Chelsea, I mean, Werner got like an assist, but he's dangerous. Looking at the teams on the whole, they seem to be defending better as well. And what of the big teams, big hitters tempt you? Bearing in mind that they tend to be the most expensive players, so it's not always easy to get them in. and it may mean that you have to cut corners elsewhere in your team.
Of course. I think I don't know if you. Well, I'm looking for me personally. I like the idea of Salah. I feel like Mane hasn't been as prolific. It seems like I don't know what's going on there, but Salah definitely. I think we spoke last week about my feelings on De Bruyne. So I don't know. I mean, like I like it's just maybe it's something innate inside me that I'm just like, oh no, not De Bruyne.
Well, to be fair, he got a penalty, didn't he?
Yeah.
Now that's like it's a gimme, really. It's not
Of
like
course.
he scored a 30-yard screamer or anything like that. If there's a penalty to be taken at Man City, he's going to take it. So he can, even if he plays really badly and they get a penalty, he's getting points. That's the thing.
Exactly. So yeah, so I think Salah for me is would be my big hitter pick for Liverpool. I think Kane is very much made himself a must-have. It seems like, obviously, as much as I hate to say it, like he's a Spurs guy, but it seems like he's becoming more and more a must-have. Like he's entering, as we've spoken about, like Tottenham's tough fixtures, but goal and assist at the weekend, and it looked like they didn't even come out of third gear. So like he seems like he's going to be performing. For me, if I'm looking at Man United, I would say Fernandes would be my big hitter there. That would be my pick. And am I missing anybody else? Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea. Like, I just don't know with Chelsea. I just don't know. Like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, to be honest with you. At the moment, I'm loving Zuma in defense.
Yeah.
Top guy. Like clean
He's
sheets
delivering.
and goals. He is delivering big for me at the moment.
And it's almost as if they're aiming for him at the corners. I'm gonna have to start looking at that, because with the centre backs, generally speaking, you'd be lucky if they get more than 6 or 7 goals a season. But he's on 4, and there isn't any reason why he can't get any more.
No. And and with their set pieces, they don't mess about. Like they've got people who can really put it on a plate for anybody who's got a good header in the box. So I don't. Well, obviously he's not your big hitter, but like at least for Chelsea, that's the guy that I'm really looking at.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
I don't know with Chelsea because like I still don't like. Of course they're doing well. They're winning games. They're getting clean sheets and whatnot. But I like maybe I don't watch it or maybe I'm just oblivious. But like I just don't see like someone coming like rising to the top saying, yeah, this is my spot. I'm the goal scorer in this team. That's what's happening. Do you know what I mean? Like with other teams, I feel like there's more of an outstanding guy at the top.
See, Frank has got that problem now where he's got a whole load of good players and he can't play them all. So he's trying to keep them happy. And I think he's just got to bite the bullet, frankly.
Yeah.
But then I would say that because I'm playing fantasy football and I want to be able to predict his lineup.
Exactly.
And he might not do it for a while. He just might. No. He's like turning into Pep Light with the old rotation. You've got to be careful, man.
There's one thing in common. Too much money. That's what happens. Too much money. You got too much choice. You don't know what to pick.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's how it gets you. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Too much money.
Because last season, I would have said Pulisic, no problem. Pulisic, and then maybe Tammy Abraham in the first half of the season, because those were the guys. They were the guys who were looking hungry, who were doing damage. They were getting assists, goals, whatever else. Now it's just you brought in what's his name, Ziyech. You brought in Havertz. You brought in Werner. Mount is like golden boy. Like where do we go? So I couldn't put my like I think maybe later half of the season, maybe when Werner's settled in a bit more. Like it's not like he's not producing. It's just that he's not producing to the level where his price bracket like
absolutely.
Reflect.
And the thing is, he's getting in good positions. He's taking enough shots and all the rest of it. But I can't help feeling he's a little bit unsettled because it's like today, am I going to be centre forward or am I going to be outside right again?
Yeah.
Not that it really bothers him because he scored plenty of goals as an outside right when he was at Leipzig, but still. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's a lack of clear instruction. You're right. It's a lack of clear instruction.
He's in a new team. He's got new teammates. Still needs to get used to them. And as you said, Kovacic played a lot last season. Now he's kicking his heels. He must be screwing. And then Jorginho as well. Again, he must be screwing. And then you've still got Callum Hudson-Odoi, who's absolutely blazing in Europe. He must start to think, I deserve to play in the Premier League now.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, Bayern are going to come get me. Yeah, ain't no thanks.
I literally, I don't understand what they're doing there. He's a top player. Like, I literally don't understand what they're doing.
It's mental. And then Tammy Abraham, I was convinced that he had his that striker spot was his to lose. And all of a sudden, Giroud. I mean, fine, Giroud scoring goals, but you've got to pick somebody and stick with them. All right, you can't just keep playing Giroud because you want to keep him happy. Because at the same time, you're making Abraham unhappy and potentially Werner unhappy and Pulisic unhappy because if Werner plays outside right, he's got nowhere to go in the team.
Yeah.
So it's just. Anyway, we could talk all night about this.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
I'm not going to add to the players you just mentioned because I think that's pretty standard. But I just wanted to point out that the big teams, their defences also seem like they're playing pretty well. Man City is starting to keep clean sheets. Liverpool potentially could start to keep clean sheets again because they've done it before. To be honest, it doesn't really look like they're missing Virgil van Dijk all that much. I mean, lest we forget, he was on the pitch when they conceded 7 goals against Aston Villa. So I don't see what the big deal is, frankly. And so with Man City, if you want a defender, maybe Ruben Diaz because he seems like he gets to play every week. You can never tell with the rest of them. With Liverpool, it's the usual suspects: Robertson and Trent, who's coming back. And Trent already looks like he never went away. He nearly got an assist at the weekend, didn't he? Except the ball bounced off Mane and it went in off that guy Semedo. So I say the big teams looking like they're getting clean sheets, and it might be worth paying that little bit extra for their defenders.
Yeah.
Even though because 6 points a week is still better than 2 or 1. That's what you get, what you pay for. Chelsea, I hate to say it, but it looks like they can defend as well. And we all know who to go for there. You've got Zuma, you've got Chilwell, and you've got Reece James, who seems to displace Azpilicueta. I never saw that coming either. But his crossing's really good.
Yeah.
And it's Frank Lampard after all. I don't think he really needs his defenders to defend. Azpilicueta was a proper defender, but James just crosses the ball. He seems happy with that. And then, dare I say it, Spurs are looking like they've got that Mourinho tightness on lock now. And their defenders look like they could keep clean sheets as well. I mean, with Aurier and Doherty, you never really know what's going to happen. But Reguilon looks okay. I think he started quite a few games. And then Eric Dyer, my bet noir, I think he's the cheapest of the lot. And he may be worth a look. So I think the premium defenders, the big team defenders, although 6 points might not justify their price, it's better than having a 4.5 million defender who's not getting 6 points.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think so. That's my view on that.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right then. Do you want to have a stab at doing the predictions for game week 12?
Yeah, I'm up for it.
So we're keeping it simple, we're keeping it moving. And
I don't mind as long as I don't have to predict Arsenal. That's fine by me.
Oh, all right then. Well, I'll do it, and you jump in whenever you feel ready.
Thank you.
Okay. All right then. We'll start with the big one, which is the Manchester derby.
Yeah.
Also on Saturday at Old Trafford. How do you see that one going?
Just classic Ole roller coaster. He's gonna win. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. He's gonna win. He is. It's like I know this sounds crazy. If I was good, if I like Ole at Old Trafford, Man City, he's gonna win. Especially after coming off a horrible loss, he's gonna win. He's got to. It's what he does. It's what he does best.
It just seems to be the Ole way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, I don't want to overthink it, but I think you may well be right. Me personally, I'm going to play it safe, and I'm just going to say, oh wow, Man City look like they're back. Do you know something? I think Torres scored for them today in Europe, and it's possible that Pep might start to see him as a striker because he's quite happy to play him there in Europe, although the quality is arguably lower. So I mean that's something to look out for because they're they don't really have a striker at the moment. I mean, Jesus, he's not really a 20 goal a season man. Excuse me.
Mhm.
But he does all that running and pressing that Pep seems to like so much. So even though Man City look like they're back, and I would say that they should win because the Man City, you're right, you can never tell with Man United. And it's the sort of game where they would win because every time Ole looks like he's being pushed towards the door, he just sidesteps it, doesn't he, with a win from
Yeah.
nowhere.
Always.
And-
I was talking to a Man United fan about it earlier, and I was just
yeah.
like, what is going on here? And I said to him, it's funny because you guys worked so hard to get in. Like you worked so hard to get in last season. Towards the end, it was like they were pushing. They had a great run of games, etc., etc. And then it was just like, and we're out again. See you in Europa League.
Yeah, yeah. That. I mean, who beats PSG in Paris and still gets knocked out into the Europa League? Who does that? Anyway, that's a debate for the message boards right there. I mean, knowing Man United, they'll be 3-0 down at half time and then they'll come back and win it 5-3 or something. And I'll be sick to my stomach. But that's football. All right then. Everton versus Chelsea.
Oh, I think that's a tough fixture,
Mm-hmm.
Everton at home on a Saturday night. In terms of form, I'll give it Chelsea, but I don't think Ancelotti's gonna take it lying down against his former side, so I don't know.
Yeah, I have to say I'm a little bit worried for Ancelotti because he really shouldn't be losing this game.
No.
But yeah, in terms of form, it's all Chelsea. Everton don't have Seamus Coleman, they don't have Luka Dean, and I think it takes a lot away from them. Not necessarily defending wise, but if you're going to beat Chelsea, you've got to score more goals than them. And Rodriguez can't be supplying all the assists and the creativity all on his own. And Iwobi, he does all the right stuff apart from when he has to find somebody with a cross. And then just all that running is for nothing.
This is literally the reason why we sold him. He gets himself in the most amazing position. And it's like, all right, look, just do a half decent shot towards goal, okay, or pass it to the guy who can do that. Just one or the other. That's all we want. Corner flag.
You know what? Ancelotti should say to him. He say, look, when you're in the position and you want to shoot, cross it, because then it'll be a shot. And if you want to have a shot, if you want to cross it, shoot, because then it'll be a cross. That's what you need to do. Because when you try one, it just ends up being the other. So just switch it around, you'll be fine.
No, definitely. I see what you mean. That was the issue we had with him at Arsenal. That's why he was so frustrating. Horrible decision making, or just or just like execution. I don't know.
And they don't really seem to have anybody else.
No. So I mean, I'm gonna chance it. I'm gonna say, I mean, Everton are gonna score. I think Everton are gonna score just because Calvert-Lewin's gonna get his name in the score sheet. I feel like Calvert-Lewin, like if there was a time to like step up, if there was any doubters, it'll be nice to score against the Chelsea side who have been doing really well at keeping clean sheets. And he's the kind of guy who would love to do that. So I think Everton are going to score, but then it just depends on Chelsea's response or how Chelsea get back from that score, because it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but it's looking like a Chelsea win then. But
I don't want it.
Have to do something special. Yeah, it's so depressing, isn't it? We've done 2 predictions already, and it's a real downer.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Anyway, Crystal Palace versus Spurs on Sunday.
My home team's going to do it for me. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I think Spurs are winning.
Glad all over, you've been glad all over.
Glad all over. Maybe yeah, that's my boy. Eagles. Nah, I think Spurs are going to win. I say it off chance just because of their crazy form right now, and it seems like Mourinho's figured it out. But Palace at Selhurst Park is a tough fixture. Yeah,
and they're letting fans back in again, aren't they?
Exactly. And Selhurst Park's going to be rocking. Sunday afternoon, the guys are going to be drunk. They're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been in that pub on the corner. What's it called again? The red, and I see it every time I'm on the 75. Never mind. Yeah, I do think it's going to be a Spurs win as well, because Palace may have won 5-1, but that was a 10-man West Brom. let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Of course.
When Christian Benteke is getting 2 goals, you know it's a freak result, don't you? Although I don't want to be down on the guy because he had the world at his feet, and I just don't know what happened. I think Liverpool used him wrong.
I had
Personally.
such high hopes for that guy, man. I thought he was
Yeah,
going to be a world beater. I really did. I know it sounds crazy in hindsight saying that, but
yeah.
at
There
the
was a
time,
time, kids. I'm old enough to remember when Benteke was, yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, Spurs are just doing it. They know how to do it. It's like they're just too efficient, aren't they?
they are.
Imagine only having 30% possession and still winning 2-0, and
Yeah.
like not. They didn't even look worried when Arsenal have the ball, did they?
No, the thing,
They were
man,
just kind of standing there, just chilling,
I could
weren't
write a
they?
book
It's like,
about that game,
go on,
honestly.
go and have a shot. In fact, I won't even stand in your way. Go on, go past me. Go, there's the goals right there. Go on. There's Lloris. Go on, have a shot, pal. Have a dip, son.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
All
it's
right.
going to be a tough one. I don't think it's going to be. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be as easy as it looked against Arsenal. Palace
No.
are going to give them a tougher game because they're going to be
Yeah.
a lot more organised.
True. But I think when on paper, Spurs players just generally are better than Palace ones.
Mm.
Do you know something? Zaha obviously just came back from COVID, and so did Salah, and it's just given them superhuman powers, hasn't it? It's weird.
Mm.
Like Zaha should not be getting an 18-pointer after COVID, should
I know,
he?
crazy.
It, it, I,
I
I,
think it's.
I,
I think they're just really hungry. Like they're hungry to hit the ground running when it happens.
yeah. All I could say is, God damn. All right
Hmm.
then. Fulham versus Liverpool.
Liverpool win.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's much more to say about it, unless there's like a bonkers upset. Liverpool win.
Yeah, I think they're gonna just tear him to pieces, frankly.
Hmm.
Again, Sana looks like he's on a mission. He scored again tonight. Like
Hmm.
he's just like, what's all this talk? All this talk about Harry Kane and KDB. I'm still here. I'm still the king. Watch me.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, he's not having it at all. So yeah, I think it's going to be a massacre, frankly. Oh, you're right. Something crazy might happen, but nah. Other than that, I think the script is going to get followed. Okay, well here we are, Arsenal versus Burnley, and I don't know. Tell me, what's the story with Partey? Is he out again now?
He's out again. Arteta rushed him back, to be honest. Like he came back in
Yeah,
and he was done. Like that was it. Like initially in the game, he didn't look done. And then well yeah, after halftime, leading up to halftime, he just said, look, it's not happening for me. And then he ended up just kind of essentially he tried to walk off the pitch like I'm done, I'm injured. Arteta was pushing him back on the pitch because that was when Tottenham were breaking for the second goal.
yes, I saw that. It's like he was walking up. He's like turning around. It's like, well, what can I do? And he did a little jog, and it was so sad because by that time the ball was practically in the net. I felt really sorry for him, to
Man,
be
it's
honest.
sad. It's because the thing is, what happened was, it seemed, or at least what I've heard from like the numerous sources that I listen to and read about and whatever else, he's already signalled to the bench that look, I need to come off. I can't be
Yeah,
playing at the minute. And then Arsenal broken for an attack. He thinks, all right, this would be a great point to just walk off because like I can barely stand at the moment. Like I think his leg was really hurting him. So he's walked off. Bellerin's lost the ball. Before you know it, Spurs are on the attack. Arteta's seen all this and pushed it back on the pitch, and then the ball's in the net by Harry Kane. So it's just like, oh well, what can you do?
yeah. Sometimes you wonder what these people get paid for because the answer seems so obvious, doesn't it? But
Stand still.
yeah, they still make all those thousands of pounds every week, and they're still making bad decisions. It's
Yeah.
tragic. I don't know. It's just so difficult because Arsenal really don't look like they're scoring. I mean, Burnley are not a massive possession team, and they're not really known as out and out attackers. Arsenal's still at home. It's still the Emirates. They're still going to have fans there. So maybe a draw, possibly even a goalless draw. I mean, Arsenal may shot me and get a goal somehow, but I'm not really sure. I
No.
can see where that's going to come from. Let me have a think. I don't know. See, that's the thing. Maybe Willian will do something. He's a streaky player. Chelsea fans were saying it the whole time.
His last streak was 2013, mate.
Yeah.
No, I'm done with this guy. He's been bummed.
Who knows? Who knows? So I don't know if you want to weigh in there at
Look,
all.
just because I'm a gooner, I'm gonna say Arsenal are gonna win, and
enough.
maybe I'm a stupid, but like I don't know. If we lose more games, like it's gonna get really bad for Arteta, like really bad. Like we can't lose against Burnley.
No, you can't.
We can't. They're on minus 13 goal difference. Okay, I mean we're on minus 4, so we're not much better, but they're on minus 13. Like we
Yeah.
can't. They've won one game. It's not okay.
No, I mean I think that's the only positive there. That Burnley don't really score goals, and they're less likely to do away from home at a team. I mean, I'm pretty certain when I watch the game, you know some of the crappy stats they like to come out with. So I'm pretty certain somebody's going to say something along the lines of, "And the last time Burnley beat Arsenal was in 1938. They've not won in." Yeah, they always say that, don't they?
Right.
It's like, yeah, but they've not been in the same league for like 40 seasons. So what kind of stat is that? But
Yeah. But Arsenal loves it though. This will be the one. Chris Wood comes out, gets a hat trick or something, and that's it. That'll be it. Yeah, this is the first time since 1862 that Burnley player scored a hat trick against Arsenal.
All right then, fair enough.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's move on to player picks if you've got any. Let me know.
Let me have a think. You go first.
Okay, then. Yeah, I mean, last week I said Fabio Silva at Wolves, but I got that completely wrong. I don't think Nuno Espirito Santo is interested in playing him at all. He seems quite happy to let Traore, Podence, and Neto do the attacking for him. So got that one wrong. But oh gosh, I did have someone. Yes, Rafinha at Leeds. It looks like he's cemented his place in the team. And again, he's one of those players who just seem to be like in the thick of it. You know, if Leeds are going to do anything, it's usually going to involve him. And I think he looks dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so, but just check real quick how much you can buy him for, because he could save you a bit of cash to spend elsewhere in your squad. Rafinha costs 5.4. Yeah, so he's a steal basically.
He does he loves to just shoot. I've seen that he's a shot happy guy, and usually that sometimes leads to goals. So
I think Bielsa's keen on him. You must have brought him in for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you get what you pay for 5.4. You know, he's not going to be getting you points every week. He might not get you points even every other week, but you know, again, you spend money in the rest of your squad, and then when he does pop up with an assist or a goal, you think, oh, lovely. So yeah, that's my pick, Rafinha from Leeds.
Okay.
You got anyone?
Yeah, so I went for Ward-Prowse last weekend, and he got an assist, which wasn't bad. But I think he's just someone to look at for 6.2 million. He seems like he treats his free kicks like they're penalties. So and they seem to be getting a heck of a lot of free kicks at the moment. Yeah. So that was my pick for last week, and he returned. Looking this week, I'm thinking bring back Ings.
Oh yeah,
Danny Ings is back. Just before he was storming. He was taking the Fantasy Premier League by storm. Everybody had him in his team. Now he dropped out, and people aren't bringing him back in just as fast. But they're against Sheffield this weekend. Yeah. And so Sheffield, as we know, are very much at the bottom of the table with 1 point to their name. So
yeah. It's not happening for them, is it really?
No, that's it. I mean, look, like if there was a way that they could just like fast forward, or just at January, just say, look, guys, it's not happening for us. We're done. We're not going to play anymore. We're going to put all our team on furlough, and we'll just be in the Championship next season.
That's right, you know. Yeah, so a start, you know. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's the same old story where the manager's been, you know, rocking up and saying, oh well, we were really unlucky and all the rest of it. The problem is you've let the rot set in for too long, and what happens is that the players, just like you said, the morale dips, and like, for want of a better phrase, I don't think they can really be anymore, or even if they can be, it's going to stop pretty quickly, because if you keep busting the gut and you're still getting no points, then all it takes is for one goal to go in, and they just, you know, the shoulders drop, and that's it. I've seen it happen to so many teams when they get when they're on the way to relegation. Derby County famously got relegated and they only managed 11 points all season. Sunderland were almost as bad. I think they only managed like 13 points. And you see it, you know, even when they try really hard, they still lose. And so they just start thinking, what's the point? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? They might sack Chris Wilder and get somebody in. Sometimes that works, but they all love him up there. You know,
Get
so
Big Sam in to steady the ship.
well, they all know that's the answer. But are they brave enough to make that move? Are they? That's the question.
I don't know why people are embarrassed. He does it every other season. Get Big Sam in, it will steady the ship, coast it to the 40-point threshold.
Look, this is the thing, right? I just want to get this out here. There are some managers who win you titles, but there's very, very few of them. And if you can't get one, you're not winning the titles. As simple as that. There's some managers who will keep you ticking over nicely and get you Champions League football or thereabouts. But that is all that they're good for. Solskjaer and Lampard are making you, right? Then there's some managers who can keep your team in the league, but you can't ask any more of them than that. And there's some managers who will take an awful team and keep them up. Yeah, again, Tony Pulis, Sam Allardyce, you know what you're getting with those guys. And there's some managers who just get your team relegated. Neil Warnock's one. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but anyway, but that's the point I'm making. Okay, so you shouldn't hope for things. You shouldn't have high expectations too high. Okay, you've got to assess the manager, know what you're getting, and then go in with your eyes open.
Of course.
Right?
You're not competing for the Klopps and the Ancelotti. You're competing for the Big Sam or well, if you want to go down, apparently Neil Warnock.
Yeah. It's you know, again, don't overcomplicate it here, guys. It's simple stuff. Yeah, 22 men and a ball. It's simple stuff.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right then. Well, thanks for making it tonight. I know there was just two of us, but I think we've put out a pretty decent episode. There's plenty of people to digest there with the double game weeks, and you know, and hopefully they'll get some useful stuff out of our analysis of the big teams and the fixtures, and also our players picks. Again, if you're listening on YouTube, go over to subscribe. If you've clicked it, good. Go over to the little thumbs up, click it. You clicked it, good. Good. You like us, show us it. There we go. Very simple. But yeah, all that's left for me to say now is just goodbye.
And goodbye from me.
And green hours all round. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.